Alrighty, this is my newest video, and this is both the story and the info, and I'm going to probably be cleaning this more in depth because I've never fully cleaned it, of my IBM personal computer model PC V50 from 1996. The story behind this unit is my grandpa owned it with another computer in his workshop. They were backup computers because they were older, so they were still able to work with his stuff, but they were backup. There was a monitor called it was an Envision flat CRT, gray, like light gray, silvery CRT monitor on top. That's what these footprints are from. And below it was a IBM GTX 286. Both computers had their history with them. This one was in better shape of the two, but the top was not fully attached, and it was missing the keys. Both were. The one below it was missing. It had the cover for the drive, like an optional CD player or a floppy drive or whatever, missing. And there was a hard drive in a plastic bag in there, so that meant that computer was likely had a hard drive swap on it, but I didn't know for sure at the time. And it had a mouse living in it because it came out when I picked it up. This one didn't have that issue, though, and the monitor didn't either. They were all loaded into the car, brought them home, tested out. This one, without a monitor hooked up, and it turned on, and the fans went on and stuff, so I knew this one showed potential. And the flat CRT monitor turned on. The power button's a little shoddy on it, but it was working. As for the DTX, I did not test it, because the mouse that came out of it indicated that there was probably some issues. And it had a 5 1/4 inch floppy drive and a V1.5, V1.5, I want to say. And I didn't know if it worked. Had a 5 1/4 inch floppy disk left in it, and this one had a 3.5 inch floppy drive from the factory, and it had a CD drive from the early 2000s that my dad put in with RAM. So this one was modded. The other one, I was told by my dad, is that he did a hard drive swap on it because the old one went out. And as far as I know, the hard drive that was in the bag, that hard drive that was in the bag I gave to my friend, and it actually worked fine. So possibly both hard drives were good, but there was something up with the OS on that computer. But I pulled out one of the cards on it, and it had a fried resistor. So that was when it was still in use back then, before the mice got to it. There was some mouse nest in it. The only salvageable part on it was both the 5 1/4 inch floppy drive, the 3.5 inch floppy drive, the 2 HDDs, and the graphics card, and then the memory expansion and the power supply. Everything else was shot, down to the chips. The Intel chip, it had an early Intel, if I remember correctly, that was shot, and stuff like that. I took the 5 1/4 inch drive and put it into this computer, as you can see, but this is not that floppy drive. So, nor is this the disk drive it came with. This is the floppy drive it came with, the original. And so what happened with it is I tried it out. This unit actually booted up and worked. Took a few tries for it to fully go to the home screen correctly, but it did work. Still works to this day. The hard drive has 0 bad sectors, and it made a lot of clattering noises, but it's been freeing up over use. And it had modded out RAM, and that's really all that, and the CD drive that was added. It had a 52X CD drive, I believe, or it might have been a 56X. But I wound up swapping out the disk drive because the old one that it came with had trouble. It would open and close okay, but it would not spin a disk, read it, or anything. And the floppy drive I put in, it would spin the floppy disk, but it wouldn't read it. And this floppy drive worked. I never tested the other 3.5 inch floppy drive. It was the same as this, same brand and everything. Oh wait, no, this one has a Sony. The other was a TIAC, but everything was the same floppy drive design-wise except for the light bulb color. The other one had a green bulb. This has a red one, if I remember correctly. And then I went to my friend, who's an older computer guy who I gave the stuff to. He gave me this floppy drive, which he rebuilt. Everything works on it except the LED bulb. and I might replace that eventually, just because it would make it complete. And it fully works, and he gave me the CD drive, which he said it was untested, and it does work. It's dirty inside a bit, but it works. And I need to add more memory to it because it only has a 2 kilobyte expansion card, because that's what was in the old DTX, which I call the Mouse C. This one, I did some cleaning, as much cleaning to it at the time as I could, which was alright, but these footprints are pretty stuck on there. And I hollowed out the lock mechanism so I could lock it down. As you can see, it's really not a bad unit. It's got a lot of modification port stuff on it. And it had a modem card and a sound card stuff that was installed by my dad. But as you can see, it was actually built to be a detachable top. I was wondering why it was off. Gonna move this over. Oh, there we go. This is what I have done to the unit. So everything you see in here was moved around and added by me. This used to be pretty empty. Here's the original Sony floppy drive that is, as far as I know, stock. There's the floppy drives here. There's a lot of modification cables. There's 2 more connector cables. You could add another whole floppy drive and hard drive if you wanted. It has a hard drive here, which is like a 3 gigabyte drive, I believe. It's very lame, but it's got an extra slot for a second hard drive. As you can see, there are different RAM chips in it, all around it. That was what they came with in there that my dad put in there. And then it's got these cards I added. This one is the factory modem card that my dad put in. It's not factory, but it was added. This is that memory expansion board. It needs rows of chips to get up to I think 7 kilobytes. It's got 2 rows of chips filled from the factory. It's got Intel, early Intel. It's got this card, which is what I added to it. I don't remember which card this was. I think this was I forgot. As far as I know, it works, but same with the memory card here, but I'm not certain. These were off the mouse-infested one. And it's got a cooling fan here, and it's got one on the power supply. It had the original zip tie holding the wire harnesses for expansions all together, which I had to cut, unfortunately, because I had to add these drives in. As you can see down here, there is still a lot of filth on the board. I cleaned it a while back, but not it was with what I had lying around. I added a new memory battery that it won't read because of its filth. It's got a couple detachable chips. Original graphics card, I need to upgrade that for sure. And it's actually a pretty good piece, besides it needs more memory for sure. The factory specs on this unit are right on the deck lid. Let me flip it over. This is a personal computer V30 to V50 system board. This is a V50. It has a bunch of add-ons, as you can see, processor upgrade socket. Mine's running off the stock 486, but I do have an Intel Pentium. I need to see if it'll work with this model, but that could be an awesome upgrade for sure. It's got a really nice heatsink on it, still black, and has the original sticker. This thing even has the original, where is it? How did it fall off finally? No, here it is. That's the original warranty void if removed sticker. And its memory, its total memory can go up to all that fancy specs. You got your microprocessor speed, diskette operation, password jumper. Ooh, erase power on and password configuration. That's pretty helpful, actually. It does have USB on the back. I don't have the manual, so it doesn't help. As you can see, it's got a lot of nice stuff. Hey, I got 20 minutes of my record time back. I just realized that. Sweet. So yeah, I'm thinking for this video, I do want to straighten out this drive because it was crooked when I installed the others. For some reason, it's just been like that. And then I want to make it nice wiring-wise, make it good looking again, and then maybe move a few cards around. I still got to add a new graphics card and stuff too. It needs a bunch. I just haven't had the time to really get back into cleaning it and using it again. Because, well, when it takes an hour to get to 14% of downloading an old video game, it's not really good yet. It needs a 256 kilobyte upgrade for sure. And I don't know if these RAMs are maxed out or not. It does have RAM art on one of those chips. So yeah, I guess I'm going to get a little deeper into it. This should be all detachable. I believe I have, yeah, I have one of the hard drives off the other computer, but at the same, so I could boot it, I could have 2 hard drives in this, but I don't know if the other hard drive works, 1, and 2, I don't know if it'll try to boot off that hard drive first. I want it to be able to boot off this one, the main one with Windows 98 first, and then I could change it to the other if I wanted. But yeah, this is the original diskette drive. And it does have all these modification ports. I don't know what this one does or the one down at the bottom of this unit. And it's got all these nice slots and stuff. It's a really good unit for what it is. Besides, it's a little slow. When it wants to be, it can be fast though. And it does have some extra modification. It's got all sorts of connectors, as you can see. And I tried to tie it a little bit and make it look nicer-ish. But, you know, just kind of meh. But yeah, I guess I should start by pulling out the cards and giving her a good cleaning again. This is one of the cards. I forgot which one this was. This might be a secondary sound card I added. Do I know if it works? No. Does it work? Probably not. But it looks nice in there. You know, it's a pretty shiny board out of that mouse-infested computer. This is the memory one out of the mouse computer, which was the 486. Or no, 286, I believe. Which, they're both rare computers overall. Yeah, this one's got 2 rows of chips, and I need to fill in the rest, but I'll probably replace this with a better expansion board anyway. It's pretty cool, though. It's a fun little piece of history. I cleaned the pins on it because it had corrosion on the pins from the mice. That's a pretty cool board. This should be my modem card. That's my sound card. It's the modem. Both of these were added by my dad. I put this board used to be around here, but I swapped it over to this side because it's got like so many expansion slots. Forgot how this thing ran off. This really horribly designed guide here that you had to mount upside down that always got me. Let's see. I do have to pull that one out. The flathead bingo. This should work. Yeah, mounting this on, I remember, was a pain. Should just spin out by hand, yep. Bingo. Hopefully this card will behave and come right out. There we go. Come on. That's right, it's connected. But yeah, I do know for a fact that the sound card does function because I have my speakers that I ran with it. Oh, I know what that was. Great, I gotta find that. It's a stupid cover for this. It has a screw, but I didn't have a nut with it. That's somewhere now. Great. Don't you just love this computer design? Look at all the friggin' cables. It's like horrendous. Yeah, I do need to rewire this for sure. Undo my cable tie I put on it way back when. Put that there. Yeah, I need to figure out this wiring switch. So each drive, I know all the drives work. I'm gonna detach all of them so I can rewire this fancier though. It's got this like shanky ribbon cable stuff from 1986. Forgot all about how annoying this is. There we go. But yeah, this thing is pretty cool otherwise. Besides all the annoying pesky wiring, it's a pretty good unit. Without ripping off the capacitors of that board. So those are good. Yeah, this is one of the wiring harnesses off of it. These are all cable connectors. There's like 4 of them on this, an early ribbon cable. It's the other one. Yeah, here's another like 2 connectors. Like they made so much drive, like freaking diskette drive, and every modification you can name is pretty much fitted for this thing. I don't know how the heck you would fit all the accessories that you wanted on this thing, but they found a way to add all the cables to like add more than what's capable of. I have no idea if the power supply is fully clean. There's a nut in there. That would be one of the connector nuts right there. That not the one I lost, but a different one. This is horrendous. Now I remember why I love this thing. Just keeps you on your feet, you know? It's the original power supply that still functions. And it's got all sorts of like wacky modification slots. There's 2 right there. Another 4 dozen somewhere else, probably. I really need to find a way to get to the cooling fan because I want to clean that off. And then this assembly piece here, I'd love to find a way to clean off if I can. But it's really stupid in its build design. Here's another Intel chip. But yeah, so with my record time and my phone space, since my phone's got Axle, I'll probably cut the video here, and I'm going to be working on this for the next little while, so I guess I'll see you in the next video. See ya.